Call this meeting to order. Apologize, we're a little late. Traffic as usual. All right, Barry, would you come along, please? Malcolm, here. Bill. Present. Here. Jason. Present. Next order of business is to approve the minutes of last meeting. Are there any comments, questions, corrections? Ask for a motion to approve. Second, please.
Second.
Aye. Days. That's approved. Next, do is motion to modify the agenda. Hearing. Yes, speak. Yes, it's not right. Code. Second, please.
Second.
Okay. Saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Nays. Modify the agenda.
So that we can get this information. Everything else is still there. Yes.
I'm swearing.
Wait, because this one, you got that one.
Yeah.
Neither of us know how to use this, so. Well,
It's minutes from November. Okay. Yes, there it is.
first order of business we'll have here, Gary regarding Flint. And you want to under this here. All right, we need to read this.
Yes.
Sent to Mr. Flynn, dated May 1st. Code official for St. Louis County has investigated and confirmed that in June of 2019, you employed Will Neese and later in February 2020 to assist Mission Neese into a plumbing apprenticeship. You admittedly employed Mr. Neese for an additional 3.5 years as an apprentice plumber, but failed to register him as an apprentice with St. Louis County Plumbing Code, violation of section 1103.P-104.1B and 1103.P-104.1C of the St. Louis County Plumbing Code. Accordingly, the Board of Examiners pursuant to section 1103.P-104 of the code conduct an evidentiary hearing regarding this matter on Thursday, April 2025 at 8 a.m. in St. Louis County, 1050 Lindbergh, second floor conference for Mo 63132. Violation of the code is alleged for suspension or revocation of your license and or imposition of fines. At the hearing, you will have the opportunity to present evidence and or witnesses before the board council pursuant to section 110.P-104 of the code. Please contact Gary Ramsey, Chief Plumbing Inspector at 465-732 questions. Respectfully, Gary Ramsey, Chief Plumbing Inspector. Lynn, how do you want to answer it? Thanks. That mean that you agree with these charges by not answering?
I think there's some extenuating circumstances. I agree.
Is there anything you want to say, tell us about your extenuating circumstances or?
Stingy. Our labor class came along. Throw Sam under the bus, but Sam. Yeah, did not sign him.
So you acknowledge that you understand the code?
I do.
If there's no more discussion, know that these charges are good. We need to go into a closed session to discuss what the penalty is, and you know that the penalty is, it can be up to $1,000 fine for each penalty, each violation. From the code. Yes. So yes, so at this moment, pursuant of the code session to discuss legal options and have a few questions answered.
Okay, so we have to read.
Yeah. Plumbing Board of Examiners may go into closed session at this meeting. Such actions as approved by a majority vote. Board members who constitute a quorum to discuss legal actions, causes of actions, litigation pursuant to section 610.0211, RSMO, and section 114.020.11, LC, normal legal actions, etc. So at this time, we need a motion and verbal from each one of the board members. So move.
Second.
It's a yes and yes and yes and yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
At this time, we'll go into closed session at 8:14 a.m.
This should not take us very long, so
So we're actually going to exit to.
we're gonna try to expedite.
That's the work. legal. Every time.
I thought we were following you. It is just to decide. You think, once you ask me your questions, you need to explain what you've been. Based upon this, we've taken into consideration what you said, we've extenuated circumstances. This is, you admit that it's, you still recorded.
No, just break can't start and started, you can join. Yeah, see right there, breakout session.
Yeah.
We're in. So basically, I mean, this is the legal part of it, that the lawyers have discussed this and said that unless we're asking the question to the lawyers, we're supposed to have this conversation about what penalty we're gonna give everyone.
Part of the reason is the whole sunshine law thing, where it's saying that anything you're making a decision about needs to be part of the public record. What you can close off and say, hey, no, we need to go in closed session and make a determination of what is the best legal way to go forward. We have our attorney here trying to figure out, is this going to violate anything? Are we going consistent with what we, or are we going consistently with the code itself? Then come back in, open the session up and say, here is what we talked about. Here is what we decided. We're determining whether it be a fine or expulsion or what we're doing, or just plain shutting down your license. We've decided the fine is appropriate. We've taken into consideration your extenuating circumstances. But you also have agreed that this was done and this is a violation of the code as you understand it. So therefore, some kind of whatever you guys canceling your license because you can't follow the code.
So my disagreement with the process is, if the lawyer is not present, you don't have any questions for the lawyer, we're supposed to have our discussion on, hey, I think, it's egregious or whatever. We're discussing what we want the penalty to be able to come to a majority. I think that should be in front of.
We're in front of them. What if we get in between ourselves? Like, I want 1,000. No, I want 2,000.
I think we should.
That's bickering amongst ourselves.
Understand it. My problem is based upon the sunshine law and how overarching the county council.
It's into closed session.
Yes, and they have their attorney with them.
But they, okay.
And
So I always ask you the same question every time we got to go into.
My question is, do the other boards do
this is consistent
with how they're doing it now?
from my understanding. I will say, if somebody is doing something where they're going into closed session and not having a legal purpose in it, then they're doing it wrong. But in general,
I'm just curious, how.
no, I know.
Well, I guess we gotta close our.
So moving forward, we'll always- somebody had to pretend to be a lawyer. Paul's not here.
I got it agreed.
Can we discuss it while we're in closed session?
We can, yes, we.
Oh,
that's-
definitely.
that's-
This is
This is our workaround. To make sure we can do this back here. It's his first offense.
It's his first offense, but there are two violations, right?
Yes.
How many extenuating circumstances?
Same. So. I'm sorry, so the reason why I passed out the November, December minutes from last year was because that's when board decided to bring him in based on Mr. Neese's letter saying he worked for him and didn't get credit or insurance. And then Lynn did come in December and basically admitted that, yes, that
He's never not admitted.
he never denied it. So that's why when we gave Mr. Neese 3.5 credit, so he admitted everything. So now what's to come?
And we have another potential, another candidate.
Zumsteg, Anthony
Zumsteg.
Zumsteg and
Hoffman. That's coming up, so whatever we're gonna do with this is gonna be a possibly very similar situation.
Right.
So that's why we wanna try.
Absolutely.
Can we say that, you know, because he agreed to it and we righted the wrong by allowing the apprentice the time that he got, you know, kind of, if he would have disagreed, you know, then we maybe couldn't allow the time. So, I mean, I think we've righted the wrong, if that's the case.
Yeah.
So, I don't, you know, I mean, since he agreed and man got his credit and
still a violation.
still violated.
Right.
In itself should be, if you're saying address it at a minimum level, punishment due to the outcome of it, that all injured parties have been made whole, so to speak.
And I think that makes sense. And I think you could say all of that, you wouldn't sort of tailor it down and say, look, here, this is what we talked about. This is what we considered.
Right.
But
And as a result of that, this is what you're, you know, what it violate the rules. So
So can be suspension of license or
it can be a penalty, a fine, it could be a fine, period, or it could be a fine and suspension. And then the degree of penalty is, you want to do up to $1,000 per offense.
so suspension, he's just not going to take it.
And we'll get inspections on city has out. It's gonna delay his jobs, whatever.
you'll shut them down effectively.
Yeah. It would
2,000 is the maximum.
2,000 is the maximum. That's being 1,000 per penalty. First offense shall result in a suspension period of not more than 90 days and shall continue to be reinstated by or pursuant to paragraph 6 of the section. Duration of suspension of any license registration.
When you say he won't be able to take out. He's where he has another master.
Oh, he's a convention.
Okay. All right.
I'd throw about $500 per issue because of the fact that he admits to it, you know, it's all been resolved, so
You're reading my mind, so
anybody else?
I tend to agree.
I was thinking the same.
Reading that right.
Let's get there.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Because we don't really want to put them out of business, we just want something done wrong, and fortunately, he got caught, so. Okay. All right, so now we have to go out of closed session, so we have to read something else, we just.
Read that, Barry?
Oh, no, I was just making sure. We got legal here, what do you think?
I agree. I think those are your options. You know, are you going to do some sort of sanction and a fine? Or are you going to do just a fine? You know, and I think the main thing you do to try to have some consistency between these decisions is that you explain what you are considering, the things that you consider to be extenuating circumstances, and the reason that he's still getting a fine. That way, when somebody else shows up in 3 months, they have been basically doing plumbing work without an apprenticeship or a license, then you can say, oh, this is how we looked at it before, this is different. This is how we looked at it before, so that the whole world knows, okay, that's what I have to expect.
Right, you got all that, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, So now we need to get out of closed session, right? So do we have to read something or we just?
They have adjourned a special meeting held in the purpose of discussing legal actions, cause of actions, or litigation pursuant to section 610-021 and section 114020, legal actions, etc. Reopen the regular exam board meeting. And with that motion, let me get a yes.
Yes.
Yes. How does he pay?
They sent him a bill. There's another letter.
Yeah.
You need to tell him it's coming.
We'll tell them, you know. Everybody will hear.
Yeah, from legal speak, that's the good thing, is that everybody will hear it. That really is kind of an important aspect of it. They know what to expect when they show up at these meetings and say, oops, messed up.
Okay, so the medical session, you're gonna discuss your penalty and based on the situation. You need me to place it in the address.
Yeah. President, kick me if I don't say enough.
So I'm always on the side of, you keep it short and sweet,
Right.
you know.
So that to 826, we're out.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the
Coming up, come back.
Sergeant of Army.
Just stuff the hair came on. It did. Yeah. Somebody else. Sweat.
I don't want to start listening at the time too.
I know. I'd love to keep it all around.
You should look good with that. If I could shave down, whoa, it would be ugly.
It's 100% opinion. I still get kids that. It's what's inside. Where's our, the IT guy?
Nick, you gotta turn it over. You good? Good.
Mr. Flynn, we, liberated, continuing circumstances that you stated. The fact that, Mr. Neese was able to get, we approved his time so that he didn't lose anything in his apprenticeship learning. The fact that admitted they made a mistake. So our decision is that there are two violations, just impose a fine of $500 each violation, total $1,000. Barry will send you a letter, confirm all this. But, and yeah, there's no suspension. It'd be wonderful if we never had to fine anybody or do anything. You have to try and keep everybody a little bit.
I might add.
Okay. This is not you. Okay. Next order of business.
No.
Do we have anyone in the chat? No, waiting. See. It's 3. Well, we do have to start reviewing the.
I want
Just get everything.
to get everybody out of the way here.
But 86% of the room. Where's my host?
Nick, who's in there? Who's in the chat? I can't see who's in the chat. I can't see who's in the chat.
Bree, that's how we do support it.
Smile meetings.
Oh, there's no attendees?
Someone hasn't. Keeping an eye.
So, oh, you got a computer out there?
this, and also you can chat me on there too if you need to send me something privately. So just if you need something quicker, like that. Okay.
Thanks, Nick.
Well, the gentleman that we do have here, Mr. Flynn has exited. Mr. Rob,
Yes, sir.
we have,
Looking to get my master license.
and did, we have to review your list, so everyone's on there. And then, Mr. Ronald Rawls.
Yeah, there are a couple of boys. Watch how the real operators work.
Get through those, and we aren't working very fast, but we're still
I'm
learning.
just hanging out, get read out.
So they, yep, so, but I do have Dylan and Spencer,
Yes.
they both have been approved to test for journey. They have,
It's like really liberty.
yes.
That you can go tell them they're.
I'm gonna start studying it more. Put the book under your pillow, kids.
Thank you, guys.
I had a great day.
See you later.
Mr. Summers, do you
Yeah,
have
anything?
anything?
Who's got Rob?
Who's got,
I don't believe me, that's a folder. It should just be a sheet. So it'll be in the master.
pull those out here already? Can you put them in one of these folders here?
Is it up front, the master plan?
Wait, this move.
I had,
This move.
I just said, you know,
You know, the papers in here.
That's how it's used, sorry, but those are all those.
Who, me? My folder is all on.
Your share.
Well, since you're here, Mr. Rob, tell us about yourself.
Been plumbing pretty much all my life. I started off as an electrician back in 1986 and did that for about 3 years. And the gentleman that was working for did both trades and turned me into a plumber.
Have you registered apprentice or?
Yeah, I registered as apprentice for 4 years. I got my journeyman license. It took me 3 times to pass that test. I had that for about 5 years. Working for a master, so I took my journeyman, I took the master test and passed that stuff. I've carried my master license for, I believe, about 18 years now. City of Springfield.
Springfield.
All right, is it-
So have you been holding a plumbing license for at least 10 years?
Yes, sir.
Starting where in my, I'm full of information now. These, things, plumber, what are these? These are your apprentice registration and.
Yeah, I took every card they give me to the best of my ability.
And
And
you have copies of that, it look better than this
did not bring the originals with me.
one. Oh, that, right, these are.
Oh, my. It might have been on the scan end. Too, and I should be able to take it.
There's a lot of other, there's information.
So you got your Springfield Masters,
South, isn't it? Sounds about.
January 31st, 2011.
You work in St. Louis now?
I have, got a job with St. Louis University, as a plumber, maintenance. I don't plan on having any employees or anybody work with me. And I don't plan on pulling any permits or anything. I just want to be licensed for St. Louis University.
So to obtain the masters and to make it active, there's the bond and insurance. It's like setting up a business.
I don't want to lose my licensing from, okay. I just don't understand.
So you're gonna you can make the license inactive should you be approved and pass the exam. You can make it inactive. And
Okay, so
you'll be licensed, but
the fact I've carried a master license for nearly 20 years, I need to re-examine.
you do have to exam. There's no
Okay.
reciprocity.
So you would,
I have seen others have not had to go through that. That's why I'm asking.
Not here. There's no
If you
reciprocity.
said Springfield, Illinois.
Missouri.
sorry,
No, I'm saying if you would have said Springfield, Illinois, then we'd have a rest of
Yeah.
the Well, we, well,
but got enough time. So the whole thing is that we just want to make sure that you don't get caught, in a situation.
Like this happened.
Now, because St. Louis University, basically, that city reservoir,
St. Louis.
instead of St. Louis University,
Yes,
that's basically city of St. Louis.
yes, sir.
This is St. Louis. Oh, again, there's.
Yes, sir. Things might happen in the future.
Okay, well, that's fine if you
Yes,
want to,
yes, sir.
then.
So I just want to carry on, keep the licensing that I already have. If I move to another state, I would like to be able to say, hey,
If you want to take the test,
and they're asking me to get, my licensing behind me, so.
then we'd have to do with, you have to immediately ask, once you were approved as a master, send in a request that you be placed in inactive status. And that way, then you don't have to buy the bond and the insurance.
I see.
That'll be all part of the application.
After this testing.
Actually, you designate your license while you're,
Okay,
so you either make it active or plan to make it inactive.
So you didn't consider just going to the city? You did?
well, I'm doing them as well.
You're doing it as well.
If we'd like it to be inactive, we would need to know now to change it in the cell.
The application.
Upon approval, we need that question answered. Do you want to activate your license upon being issued?
What is it?
But you probably has yes.
Yeah, they most of them apply, yes.
Somebody let them.
Let me ask you this, if we do the inactive status, as long as I work for, St. Louis University, not needed, say I decide to go after plumbing in Northfield, then we get activated and get
Right.
bonding or whatever.
And you have to do
Guys are asking.
continuing education.
So I think you're officially saying you want to be inactive?
Yes, sir.
If you can, so.
I'm not gonna be pulling permits or anything.
Okay, well, he says you're gonna be inactive, for sure.
Now that would allow me to work as a journeyman or
Yes, yeah, a master plumber doesn't limit you
as
on,
long as I'm working under another master that's pulling the permits and stuff.
well, because St. Louis University, if you're working maintenance, they don't pull permits.
I got you.
They just do their work because that's in both codes as far as.
You wouldn't work,
Thank you.
But it's,
you wouldn't work for another
you would
outfit.
have to have an
Yeah,
active license to work anywhere in city or.
Right.
So
Um,
an inactive master would not. Does not let you do that.
So do I need to apply for my journeyman as well then?
But we passed the master exam.
If you pass it and put it on the next, someone who would have had it, or would go to the journey.
In the past, yeah, so.
Yeah, I just
That's
tested that one.
exams are so different.
Yeah, everybody's a little different, yes.
I mean, our journeyman and masters, because journeyman test involves so many more requirements
Because,
now, so I think you would probably need to apply as a journeyman as well to have an active journey. So you
Which
qualify
I have an active journeyman as well.
to be licensed here. I think if you, those that keep the master inactive, you should also apply for a journeyman and then take that exam as well, because there are two separate exams. I mean, I'm just saying that because having the masters, it used to be we had the master and you worked as a master, then you wanted to make that master inactive. And you be requested to drop down to a journeyman status, we would issue a journeyman
So
license.
what I'm concerned about my future is if I go to work for a company that has a master diploma, I'd like to be able to work for him, under him, as well as not losing any current.
So you can activate, we let them activate his master and not require the.
Because they have told me we can only have one master in the shop.
I mean, you can have as many masters as you want, but a master cannot work for more than one shop. So, and the company can employ
And
10
so much
masters.
money.
they can run it.
Yes.
You would have to disable it in the system, so that you can't take on.
So we can,
He's not having all the paperwork required for email.
it would be an active license, but disabled system. And you still need to have to be everything for you. So yeah, so you just.
So
Okay, wait, because on this system we have, we can't.
It won't let you issue the license without the bond condition.
Or way we can override. Can we make a motion to the board to do that?
We only wish.
Doesn't change the system.
A seller is a seller.
No, we can't let the system tell us what makes sense.
Hey, they're winning.
One at a time.
Space out, so the computer's in control.
So we're gonna cross that bridge later, and it might be if we can't get this system to allow us to do it, we may, the company's move would be to either activate it fully, get bond and insurance, or apply to take the journeyman exam.
You can take the journeyman exam later, too.
well, today I'd like to get everything started so I can get everything behind me
Or we make it
where I can basically pick and choose my future job. Of course, I am going to be working for these folks, but
we got options to explore on that. We do have to come to a decision on operations. So we'll figure that out because this system. But I think right now it does meet the requirements to test.
You can test for the bond or no?
They only apply for the masters.
I would like to
I think
apply
we
for
do
the
the
attorney. I did not understand that that
Well,
would be required.
that's an option. You can explore it now, explore it later, but you can do that on.
Okay. So
Still apply online.
we'll come back and do this all over again. That's
Yeah.
fine with me.
Well, you won't have to come back.
Okay, okay.
Since all you have to do is fill out the paperwork online.
Okay,
You
perfect.
don't have to come here and,
And attend the meeting and
you don't have to.
y'all will remember me.
It's fine. And, we'll send you the paperwork so that you can.
We'll get all that.
Master.
Guys and get done with these, get done.
That way then you got full option.
That's my whole plan, yes, sir. I appreciate that.
All right, so you can be approved today if you test for the master.
Yeah.
Sir, anything else from you?
No,
Watch yourself.
Thank you. That's good.
Okay.
Me too.
That was the business.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you. Are you Carmen?
I am.
Okay, it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I have.
Very, you want to have copies of his information? You said you couldn't see his information.
Information on that.
He's approved, then.
You know, man.
You should get more in there.
Did
Basically,
you reach out to him?
He's good.
Yeah, reach out to them. Ask them. Move this file.
Thinking,
Because even the ones that he had, you could read them, but
No, man,
We didn't receive it.
did you get anything new for him?
We have just, yeah.
I'm on a spile right now.
No.
Picked up error.
Unless he sent it in like the last couple of days, which is technically.
It just goes in.
Yeah.
Expect me to use that now.
Move the mouse every now and then. You just move your mouse every now and then.
Bill's right there, he's.
I don't know how it works either.
Document.
When we're done, find.
Yeah.
It would
We gotta
teach me
see,
here.
find something we wanna look at. So let's see, this one.
I got all these opinions.
Yeah, you might as well go through their premises.
So, so we
Next month.
Go to search. Then, exactly that number.
that includes the TPTL and all
Yeah,
that
number-
stuff. Does it have to be caps?
It does not.
What, it's the number right here.
It's right, that'll be right here.
Oh, okay. That's it.
And then as you go from into applicant, search, you don't erase all the numbers, just the last three of them. Since you just in all of them.
Three zeros, 278. Then what do you get? Eric, what do you get after that? He puts the number.
Hit enter.
It's hit.
Oh, there.
You could have just clicked the, yeah.
We're waiting on right. He's
No, just.
he wouldn't say he wanted to extend his license.
Oh.
That's okay, yeah.
All right.
1 second.
All right, so here's the summary is where you're at now, I'm showing. Make sure you scroll down and tell you what shop you
Submit.
Over there teaching about the summaries app. That's what we discussed.
There's no room in here.
Yeah, I give him my seat, I'll swing right. So you supply 4 documents right there, then you click on those documents.
First question.
And so make sure you submit all items required for.
And you've already clicked these, right? So you know.
Yeah, but Carmen,
Double check.
I mean, not Carmen, Megan filled that out, depending on what she had.
Oh, I know.
You're right back this morning.
We're still supposed to verify each one. Normally, everything, she's submitting everything that was checked out in there,
Table.
and then we still want to verify. So some items could have been last night or this morning. So we want, like, I'm saying they haven't submitted the master letter.
He's the only one on here that says,
We still want to verify the photo, the driver license, and the section 2.
So we do wanna look at each of those things.
Yes.
So do we click on the name or do we come over here?
how do you open it up?
Just click on, double click on that. It's not done.
Or the executive doesn't, and they were hiring.
Right click.
Letting them know.
Tab or-
Yeah. It's up
Because I told them if let somebody go. You know, or.
Just update your hits, just so that when you're doing things.
Yes.
Like if a princess.
Yes.
Show you the down.
So that's what.
If I found that already,
Yeah, you know, it's
We
pretty.
did that.
But like, say you're a princess.
There it is.
Letters
Right.
to us.
In the street, no longer. At least that's a middle of person.
And then, so that checks.
Yeah, now you
Go
go.
there, close it out,
Yeah, I think that's safe.
Probably way to go.
Yeah, well, you can upload more than.
close out this little.
That's just this photo.
Just the, this, right.
But every time we hire them, every time it doesn't go. It's not hard. You don't get it.
Well,
The
that-
key is that we can do this.
that,
Oh, wait, it's right around here. It's all there.
Those are three.
Then now you.
They've all got application?
They're already have licenses. Yeah, pretty much.
Check.
Oh, you're meaning like every time this changes, you submit it to the other.
It wasn't asking, you know, how you
No.
want.
No, you submit the master plumber letter when they get their apprenticeship, and this has to be current at the time. Then if an apprentice leaves, then you just send a letter saying so-and-so is no longer.
But when I like here,
You won't get thrown out.
you need to print to get a job. So.
Well, then,
If,
It's because he's in another school. Since when this witness.
He's not registered.
No, he is.
Kathy,
Malcolm close out.
I screwed up. Won't be the first time that happened.
that's what I said.
Malcolm,
Not
Malcolm's in the middle.
So can you check? Have you,
So out.
what's the student that gets it?
You just hire.
Yes, we need to sign.
So you would have need to yes, and that'll.
This is what the letter is. This is what I was hoping this is.
Never been confused when I got these because I thought the papers were like.
No.
These are just letting us
Because I
know
told-
that
yes.
you have.
Obviously, we're capable.
I would just say, to make it more clear to me that this isn't a new application.
Last time that
If they have an existing,
That's that.
put that in here. I'm
City.
During the numbers.
What was the
Blah.
apprentice?
Section 2.
Yeah, well, let's put this number, but just say, I'm listing, you know, my. You know, we've been hired with our cost
So
here.
right there, we don't have to fill in this. You know what I mean? So you have to be expert to be
Search. License.
then next year, they have to give us one the letter that says they hired them. They have to show. They have to show everybody. Last three during purposes, various purposes.
So yeah, she would need to add license.
We got three departments. So yeah.
Go back to the same guy.
Boston.
And I have one experience. So that we're told. Yeah, I mean, they had.
Yeah, this would be the right thing. I think when I received these, I was.
Dash 30278.
But I'll find.
With the submit, right? With the submit.
It's enter.
Oh,
Same thing. Ounces are,
yeah.
There's a touch screen, the mouse.
The apprentice.
Yeah.
So here we are with the summary, so we're looking at this.
So we would,
Sebastian, right now.
Is the contract. Those we building. So there's a lot of information.
Required.
And I always, it's can required. I'm a master building. Up to documents. It's great.
So that Jeff checked out as a master.
We will.
Well, we looked at the IDs, those were good.
We want to make sure the section two is right.
Section 2 is.
All 6 documents are initialed in the bottom and initially signed.
should you download that area or?
Yeah, so hit the download. In there.
Once you've looked at something, maybe you just
Well,
back out.
Has to be over here.
But this is PDF. Then you have to go to this little X. It's over there. This is the internet.
Keep going, keep going.
That's what-
Masters of Manchester.
Right there. Here it is. We're over on the left.
Right.
It's number EAP.
And then check out the master. I don't know if part of this, but it's good to have like these two things. Download on.
Yes. Documents.
Cover letter.
They give you every-
I think you probably screwed something up.
You can put keys.
So what we're looking for?
It was master liquor.
Master letter?
Yeah.
No one's
Who are you?
Master cover letter. Hey,
You see the bands.
Yeah.
No, it's all us. It's all us.
I guess he's a legit Mr. Quote.
I gave you the numbers. Let's see, he's, what's his name?
77.
Yes.
You guys always keep up, don't you guys still keep up to the plumber, the overall one?
We used to have a list.
Like this list here, we used to have,
It's not.
it's not there anymore.
I don't trust it.
Here, it's supposed to be building arts, Kevin Fennell, he's still on there.
That's from it.
Oh, this list is, gosh, 2020.
He's okay.
Master.
And if you wanted to check a license, we don't worry about that. Just like.
Let's just get through that. Okay, so let's see, so I can prove that.
You've done section 2 photo, you've done everything. So,
If he's good.
what else would you,
So are we both there, now where do I do approve?
Close out of that little X again.
with that car now, they got rid of it.
And now we get workflow. And it's work review. See, difference. Saturdays.
what's this last three numbers?
It's all initials.
Yes.
And then you do the sheet.
Yeah, we do the sheet.
Put my name on it. You put it around.
Stable getting master license.
Then press and repeat.
So now,
So
back up
Where you
here.
gonna go?
Look at that.
See, just go back to where the number is, just go back to the last three numbers.
Check that.
Search.
You put it right.
They're ready.
Look, last three numbers. Anyway, you just find
See the attachment.
Well, that's what he's calculating.
Okay. Whatever it takes.
All right, this should be good.
Who was it, Hertz?
So you're on Kurt's.
Hertz.
That's.
JBL.
She was saying it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Schumann.
Well, she's not, she just.
You did right.
16 documents.
Experience.
Yes, she not.
We have proof of
Work experience, you proof of no experience. That was pictures.
Picture.
Journeyman plumber.
Right. 5 years.
You gotta be great. That's the grade. Strike that grade all the way through. We just looked at
You
his
just
pic-
looked
oh,
at the
wait.
picture.
It's a picture. Oh,
Oh, this one's taken. Okay, so we're just looking for the string and stuff.
So the letter does not, qualifications for experience.
you download each one as a document.
Oh, it is.
Just download each document. So you download the picture.
Maybe that's what he had. So that's what
You go on here, you look up Schumann on this sheet.
It's on there, there's 6 pages, looks like there's a name down at the bottom with some well, that's right.
Yeah, so if there's no X here.
They aren't real, there's some scratches.
As long as you got good eyes.
Or it could have been received after.
So
It could have been like last kind of thing.
They could have submitted late, but most of them,
You just X out of this, right? Across the PDF.
Latest document he sent in was
We go back to our.
March 20.
We got X out and then get back.
We gotta go.
So next time, just
Here.
Yeah. So
after
back.
March would be. Since then.
So.
Download and close now.
Try to get back to the document. Close this document.
Yeah.
We didn't look at the state issue, driver's license.
I should have a paper.
He might not have the
The
letter.
K drive.
If you don't see a letter, I would immediately go.
Whoa.
Verify.
He's gotta relight.
So you see this ejector table.
Okay.
Or table, they don't say.
Well, unless he's,
Yeah.
so he sent
That's
something
a
in
vertical driver's license.
325.
If you're not, there's certain age that you better
software.
Oh, that what it is?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
minor. It's a quick glance to tell me.
Let's see, 2005, so yeah, he's
Underage until 06.
Fired.
And then they, some suspect fake IDs.
These proof of experience.
Yeah, you know.
He's only shown in 3 years. So
Second.
2020 to 2023.
Yeah. They make that a target. I don't remember this one. And-
Literally the very top line, next to his name.
Someone saying that
You're.
federal insurance was on the second page.
No, you didn't click, on
I
that.
looked at it, it's right at the top.
Yeah, I clicked it.
Okay. It should be downloads.
Yes.
There's a shoe here.
Right there.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Holiday, just like,
Even said it.
Schumann, oh, it's nothing.
see.
But you can tell by.
I was just making sure with.
So you got 5'8".
Yeah.
Wait,
But now, did Schuman submit something?
His master emailed me yesterday.
So we might say.
still, this row out numbers that.
Schuman's information was from
You only showed 3 years of experience.
Lenexa. Hey, that's the Lenexa, Kansas.
His master says that they requested, verification, but they haven't received it from his previous employer.
Schuman.
Yeah. We haven't gotten a funnel pin.
Yeah, they said that they've requested documents from the previous employer to show proof of experience.
Doing it all.
There's five.
I got 5.
Okay,
Let's see.
It's out of.
I guess we're out of this.
It's a PBS. Then you.
And I got to move over.
3.
Hang on.
Okay, so he had everything he needed.
Okay,
So now we got.
wait, so he didn't have, the last time he didn't have see, nobody's had the master plumber letter like that. This time he had the master.
Yeah, so they could have uploaded since that was general.
So he's good in information. Now you gotta approve him.
Yep, yep.
How that was good.
Go back to work for.
Right this.
Board review.
Wait, how do you do this?
It's a race.
And then this new status.
He was table 3 previous.
There it is.
Search. What's his number? He's a master.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't bring one more. What are the last four?
It was, that was,
Like over statute. Then combined search.
You know what's?
Yeah.
Then you can change it.
next number could be, 281. So we gotta change the 1.
I don't know where.
Is he trying?
Yeah. Enter, yeah, or is it, yes,
Part enter.
submit works too.
Christopher B.
We should recommend file.
Oh, you need to get rid of the other guys who've already done those.
Oh, they just, yeah, we got these done.
Yeah. Okay. Excited. So see if you get us.
We're going to guys on 281, so we're going to find out. And then we'll close out your trust account.
But I guess we need to go through.
Yeah, trust account.
He's got an extra.
Well,
Yeah, you did.
I didn't open it.
He sent that.
Shut up.
His ID.
If I did it, I don't know what.
It's pinned on the side.
It's pinned on the side, it was filling up.
No, I didn't, it's just pinned on it. It was
We trust you.
open.
Traveling down to the.
I'm in our room.
You 281?
It's 281.
That's the last.
Yeah.
Oh, that's employer. No,
That's it.
that's-
Earhart.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but you're.
Now, did we get a new master letter from Murphy Company? Who's the gentleman here?
Aaron? Oh,
Eric,
Aaron.
Gavin, Eric, it's uploaded.
It's a new one. Who's the master?
Yeah, Kevin Suter.
So we have a suitor, then.
Who's on there?
He may be listed as the company contact. There's two sections on there. One says professional and one says contact.
It's very weird when you go.
Yeah, vice professional,
So if you go to like,
I see it, I see.
if we look up Murphy Company,
and the other one's just
and it brings up like, there might be.
Don't
even-
look up Murphy
even-
Company.
Even like B, if you look up like B plumbing, like if you go to plumber, in B, and it brings up
Are you
like.
talking about like during an application? process?
Yeah, like the apprentices when they apply. Several options. That's all these people. So I,
I've gone back and forth with IT about having so many multiple contacts for the same people. I don't really know how to fix it. I'm working on it.
What's the next step here, Mayor?
You don't-
They're saying we can't.
It's the,
You wanna look at the doc?
No, but it doesn't delete them out of the story. Like, we should.
And the missing the last three. Yeah. Hey, you gonna verify that these are the items. So there's no before.
Like my husband's name, even when
That's this one.
we see, it still comes under certain.
Megan,
Did you just say that this document was loaded up? I don't see it.
December.
but he's got.
What's the application?
It's,
Oh.
281.
apprentice.
Said that there was.
Yes.
Should we not? Let me go back to my emails again. I uploaded some of this.
So if I look up somebody under something for the summary, and then it says, it shows like their journeyman license and gives, it was from one date and it says to 2019. Does that mean that license expires or not?
I'm sorry, Murphy Company emailed some other, master letters,
Sent the one that.
and they mentioned him in the email, but they didn't attach the letter for him. I was wrong, I uploaded other.
Some of these pictures.
Sam.
I'm not sure about some of these young guys that all of a sudden they're.
Yeah, I mean,
what's
This license number is.
What's the middle initial? Cause
It's grade senior.
yeah, I do think he had a license.
so we're gonna say. It's definitely gonna be stable for the extra letter.
Yeah.
I mean, your drink license expires, you still take it.
I was gonna say it's expired before it turned, before we crossed over, so we.
That's right. And still take it. Assuming we're.
It's like a word day and it's like, it wants to. Kind of like we're filling out
Session.
We've got it.
Did I put it on folder? Pretty sure.
It's government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the experience.
Yeah.
So you just shouldn't be working.
Yeah, as long as he had his.
You've got 9 years of your anything, which you stay.
So we don't need, yeah, so you need 10 years.
It's 5 years.
He had an experienced apprentice license and a journeyman.
She's got.
Was
Yeah, journeyman was a shoot.
2008. So it's done. Expired in 20.
Thank you.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
It's after.
Like somebody, some students.
There's a 30-day
Four, five,
window to
negotiate.
The issue if you got 1 year experience.
Last time, 30 days.
see, they didn't rehearse that.
There was letter that letter. We didn't give them, no, she's present.
I would like to take the original.
Okay, so after the short meeting, it's what I think they needed. If not, they don't threaten us again because they're still this.
And this was,
She's handling the appeal.
Something weird. So what's the,
there's a,
what's the like?
This,
so this is the letter. Which one is it's so that it's.
That's what.
It
More successful.
I've never read one.
might be get signed, it might be in the wrong file. Or there's other Christopher Reeves with different middle initials that may have been misfiled.
Was that the case? And I think this is your team was.
Photo is like, section 2.
So.
And then there's about 10 here's number 2.
Supposed to be really
right.
Really, so
We need to pull.
That's what this letter says.
Yeah, there were 2 there. Same thing. Twice, yes, I don't know where it's.
I think this is.
Think about, right? She don't want.
One year.
So I looked at.
It's fine. I think there's a
Market days.
There's so much that. This is not.
I'm like, you need to know. You know. What do you think? She should breathe.
Yeah.
Or she is now, and you're going to think she could do her priest. So I need to.
So I'd say, I mean, we're approving.
Jake, what do we use? That's Dave. On these selections.
Revisions required.
Oh.
When you time manage.
It's source of data.
That's the.
List the master.
My favorite is.
See, that's.
Not forgetting them.
It's fine.
3.
But he's not dead.
Consider me.
And they're fixed together. And like,
I think that's.
yeah, put it in.
I didn't think there's more.
Just have it more like a book instead of like, there be 2 or 3 pages here, so you can. 3 pages here.
You just got them down. Like you said, what happened? What's the story? I know. But which one?
So much stuff to bring to it, and I didn't like, I just have this.
Wait, what?
Let the panels ready. And even ask for any designs of it. Like my hell is leaving. Yeah.
Flash over auto.
I'm always going, no, God is leading that way, but
Hopefully screw it around.
Nothing else, I don't think it's really, that's like that. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this nail is sticking out. Like that's because of the nails. I don't know, I feel like this one leaning that way.
It was it the same, she didn't think custom. Was it the same night? Same night you always? See? I've never seen all of her.
First time.
One.
Down in Airbnb.
Can't get out of
What you say?
There's this,
That we did our board review. We got that out.
so we didn't submit it.
That's like.
Get it twice.
You didn't submit twice?
Yeah.
It's the same. Let's see, let's see.
Okay, so like them real thin Frenchies.
Not fan of this. We got this
See,
one
the-
served.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the time.
Okay, workflow.
I'll help you remember.
Complete it stuff.
I'll know what it is.
Should I go ahead and?
Put it in,
I just.
We good.
now, that's all we did.
Okay,
Yeah, we had six.
and then you guys can submit.
We were in the hall.
Lovely to do that.
Excited.
And now.
Yeah.
Was it June 6th?
You should have record in.
Well, after we finish our action, then we go to record.
I had it written on.
And start over with.
I had that. Okay, I'll put in a request. Different email with some request.
Spend that one?
Right.
It's
That's if she's done all that stuff.
Okay.
almost receiving.
Consideration. Doctor. You don't, yeah.
We're left.
Oh,
Want to look at this quick.
what's the summary? Okay. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, as long as. Does the PHCC, if they have 201 and 301, would that count as 500 hours?
So the first two is 300 and something hours. And then we got a third one. We used to have a list. We didn't set it up.
Wait.
All the way, is it 101 to 401 would be the whole apprentice program?
Yes.
For experienced apprentice, if they had two of them,
Maybe three of them.
3 of them?
And that's,
Hiram.
and that's,
Hiram, yeah, he's missing a class. He also has a note from his master requesting an extension on it. To give him more time to take that test.
so even.
That's why it's not.
Thinking that somewhere here.
You have a breakdown of that?
Yeah, and it was, it's like 396 or something, wait, 496 or something.
Super quality.
It was, there was.
It's almost fit you in there.
I think we have given them the experience apprentice and then three. We asked them for 4 times. Consistency, I guess.
Let me double check.
We have to request another breakdown. So we have.
Tammy? And break down the hours.
So that.
Her certificate. One. Four.
They're different, yeah, that's.
One's 2.3 meg, one's 4.
Screenshot of his phone.
Oh, it's like.
Driver's license, picture and driver's license.
Yeah.
Put them together.
Yeah.
Wonder if he meant to do another one. Or if he took a screenshot.
That's 201, because he's got one.
201,
He's got 301.
301, but then he's got another one that's also. So that's 301, 201, 301, so there's the third one. Screenshot. I think you were okay this one. So that's also same. I did wonder.
Did you scroll down, make sure there's still.
It's just a.
Go back to 114.
If you scroll down, you can see like battery life on the spell. It's some screenshot. Spell was about to die.
Not very neat of a speller up. That's okay.
Wonder if you know what that was supposed to be. You don't know. So if you're. I saw.
He's got 201 and 301. So wouldn't he have had to take one?
Yeah,
I wondered if you took a screenshot and wrong.
yeah, he probably uploaded the wrong one.
301 twice.
So request.
A copy of one of them.
I don't see.
It keeps.
Not the ID. Yeah, you don't have to have motion.
But.
So,
Why do you think it says employment?
Wait, this is funny.
Somebody named Miss Label.
Yeah. Make sure you open everything.
Especially master letters, there's an error where it selects OSHA. I try to change it when I catch it and I put in a ticket for it.
What messes up everybody is the
it's the master.
state ID.
Yeah, every time it doesn't register.
But I go, guys, that's not right.
Been trying to
All right, checked it out, so he does have it. So we have to, this is,
Well, that may be the other document.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Just the certain license.
Should have. Submit proof of all agency versus. See, yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Oh. Danger.
Bill Robinson. We didn't completely lose it. We just, which file do we need to get to?
Let me try.
did we?
You can get it. Thanks, Terry.
I don't know what you did, Malcolm. I didn't see anything.
I didn't think I did anything.
Thanks.
This boy emailed me some documents asking me to upload it to his application. I said, "What's the application number?" He talking about, you got table zippers.
You better be.
See what the other document.
Wait,
With Jacob Parker, some documents, W shows and stuff, and asked me to attention to.
You start with.
This application.
Vice professional, where is your? The.
Yeah, these are same, not same.
You gotta find it, right?
See,
We can only.
Those counts.
Search. Should name it be.
So it's TL. JP though. You know,
Because I did see there was one issue in there, this note was on there, so I think it was issued in here.
002.
Experience for the teacher, his experience on teachers, or the teachers need to provide that additional
Best for
of
the
experience and go reactivate the license.
Something's missing.
No.
Yeah, deleted everything. Get the same, currently disable your experience apprentice license until you show proof of lab documents of experience to have for 11 years. So the only thing is,
First.
you just need to just.
It took a break it up.
Yeah.
Bring up the.
Just one to the bar.
The license. You had issued it. That's what it looks like when I looked at it. It looked like he issued it and realized it didn't have. There's a location.
So he
Yeah.
can't exceed that.
Saw that.
Wait, next up.
That's why he's getting the extension.
Same side.
I think saying by the end of June.
So he doesn't.
Let's take one.
The letter.
He's submitted.
Should I bring it up at the meeting? He did his previous license. It's not an issue. Yeah. he
They're all the same.
did.
You gotta click it for a little way.
That didn't give me much time.
Well, it downloaded, it showed up, and then just went away.
Well, it's.
Whoa. Look at that.
There's a list.
Wow.
These are all apprentices. Wait. Where's, yeah, that'll be good. 5, 6, 7.
Go down.
They touched.
That's just service.
What's 01552?
5, yeah.
There's nothing prior to that.
He didn't.
Prior to that.
Furnace was.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, we don't have.
So we have the master 11, she should be okay.
And now,
Well, I don't know.
Next
Oh, yeah, he supplied a bunch of W-2.
all in the hills.
So just.
License
we
period.
need- just put it- For you.
Here goes up.
What's that?
Wait, say how much?
I'm gonna put you on that tonight.
You don't have.
Cheat sheet.
Or give them off to Jared.
Document, I wonder if document, yes.
Yeah, cause you.
You know when you get ready to approve? Yes. I think it's like approval area. So.
Where's the permit? So you're in this right now, right? So if you want to get out of that, so for some reason it doesn't show it on full screen if you take this bar, slide it over. And sometimes you have to slide up and close that, right? And you want to go to, you want to approve them or whatever?
Workflow.
Workflow. And then you play with that board review button,
We should do it.
and then it brings up that it's forgotten to go.
Yeah. I got more than
You got them? Okay.
Step by step.
I know enough to teach myself.
There's no comment.
And we submit. It's over.
It's really good, hopefully all that.
Or did it circles, so with, it's like,
We don't, he's gotta get us information.
Careful over here, and I'm just have this approved.
License. That's what it is.
Next one is 3 on the end of the number.
Seven. We got enough time to keep it as approved issue. Keep it, since you already said.
No, but so the proof that he sent in, is that
Serve for the board.
that license real?
We can-
Send it to you.
And that way, we're just.
And I think they just sent that letter for security.
Very. Yeah, how, let's get this that circle, how do we get back to change the number from this screen here?
Get back, start the next step.
Go here. So you already did it? Just, it's on the record.
On that, oh, yeah. Oh. Close that
Yeah, now you get.
Now-
It's a pancake waffle.
That's really good.
Record now.
Like at church, how you gotta put an adult between the kids.
You should do.
Well, they had other buttons on.
Yeah, I got mine too. Right here.
Now they get to.
That's all right, that's all right. We don't mind typing.
All right. Told you, just enough to get my.
GL. It's APL.
You got
HTTP. Dash 000 283. Old days of paper.
Upload it to it.
Upload it. I did say it just now. You can upload it. We'll adjust it. Nice, Dave.
You already can bring it out. You ain't bring it out.
Send the result. Send
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
TL.
Oh, you did it in the computer?
Yeah. So they got the email off. That, so that's be another little, and we'll, then you can make that call. So, you remember to go in there. Who was that?
I gotta pull up his application to upload it, I
Who was it?
could, Gavin, Eric.
Yeah, Willerton.
Here's the sheet.
Hey,
Change the sheet and I'll change it.
This guy's gonna be new business. It's not on the new business.
Yeah, you can assume that we're wrong.
So like, is it applicant experience press, these table. Just trying to extend. Yeah, but this one is $100.
Christopher Reed.
So.
That's what it is. Is that what it is? He got it.
Oh, seems like I got a mug shot.
What's the best?
What's the driver?
No, dude. It's good. I think it's
Oh, wait.
She's 4 days.
That's Raymond voice.
Oh, they're gonna take the master.
Get them salad.
Let's get some stuff.
Have an active journeyman.
They're saying that he is our apprentice.
You know, it's a bunch of Christmas beats.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's. Yeah. So that is.
Right, not or download.
Way back in 2000.
Oh, I got that letter because I,
You grabbed, did you get
yeah,
it?
but this is.
That's gotta be here. Okay.
So, yeah, we got all the Christopher Reeds.
So I'll move it.
Yeah, he had 10 years with license. Very
Well, no,
and then his license expired.
Oh, and I see this.
Oh, let's grab mine. You want mine?
You got an attorney.
You think you're very close?
See that?
But.
They go.
Might as well let it work.
Oh.
His workflow hasn't been.
Now,
That was all we got.
So when you think the master.
You just need to change the sheet.
It's still high order.
I'm not there anymore.
All over there, that's perfect time.
I'll have to follow up and.
No, it still be fully charged though.
Yeah.
Okay,
You got like 2 hours.
and 2 hours on the charger.
Senior.
I'm sorry, you were missing.
Well,
Put in just to run regular.
It's in there.
It's stored on.
Yes, it is.
With this show.
And we just got one to put in the back, you went at home, and one at work. You know, sit up here.
I'm gonna find an extra contact.
And then.
Good. Yeah, one more. We're actually just like.
Yeah. I'm so used to like it. You know, then I get home, I mean, just.
Easiest way to get hard to go back for it. Easy way to get back to record, to start over.
Just hit record.
They live in my kids,
Mhm.
because they get the school, get something called.
This guy's numbers,
They
they
say
see
they don't have a mouse.
Yeah.
And I'm going like that. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. So,
Right, right.
such a thing as a natural.
And that's what I was, I was like, you use it. You know, you want your one at home, be better than your work.
Ashton Dooley.
Someone TL, you know.
Why is that different?
So is that apprentice?
I'm like, hey, that's not, that's great. That's good.
But I think.
It's not really thick.
So somebody put the wrong number down.
That's what I'm trying to.
You know, you'd think it'd be a 4. From all in line, after we got to that one, it jumped from 3 to 7. Put in 4. It's just.
Let's see what issues.
Let's go to the search and put his last name in. And it might be French, just to show you.
That's my prediction. Ashton, I look for Ashton. Ashton.
Might put his name in there. That should have pulled it up.
It's not even Ashton.
I put his first name in. Should have pulled up any record on him.
Only 2.
Then we pull up the application.
Christopher L. Reed.
So where is this guy?
Naked.
Ashton Newey, Nuelle, showing up.
That's showing up.
I had a hard time finding his application the other day too. I had to search it by, what's the application?
That application number's wrong. Pull up somebody else.
Yeah, you wrote the guy's name.
It's an application of.
This says 000287.
Is that what's on this sheet?
Yeah.
PL888-284.
Wait,
Yeah, I tried to think.
wait, hold the process.
Wait a
No,
minute.
I told you.
You're up to.
Fairlawn Plumbing?
This is wrong on here,
It's right on there though. That's why I said check both sheets. Cause I know yesterday I got one of those sheets doesn't come up. But I'm responsible for both sheets.
One,
Yellow Berry though, I told him
It
it's gonna be 4, he didn't
Pull
believe
up
me.
284,
Barry,
it's a record.
let's do, oh,
What?
It doesn't,
No, that's the way
it
it does
doesn't have a
that.
name to it though.
It does have a name once you dial in.
Well,
Uh,
that's the way it serves does it. You have
Her name?
to,
Her name is.
contact and go.
Find a search.
No, just
Go ahead with that. But
The other one was,
Clear.
say, then it'll put his name up there instead of saying.
Yeah, he's not, for some reason, there's not a contact on it. I don't even know how he submitted it without a contact.
Didn't create an account.
This guy's figuring out all kinds of.
yeah, there's like,
In the system.
we want to put,
last one.
No, but the next, just go with
This
that.
is the last one. You're looking at the clock.
His middle name is what?
See, that's what we were discovering, and there's no name there, so.
There, I just attached his name for the application.
I already.
He did, so I refreshed and it pops up.
Just figured to get through all these, be an hour.
They have trouble with this application.
Still have to do the kind of same as.
Since his name got that, we're assuming this, and we look down into his documents, all his information.
Oh.
Neighbor.
Oh.
Fix it.
Okay, put his name at the top.
It's a live person, and he's a good looking kid. It's the best looking kid we've had.
I got
Most of them all look like mugshots.
So,
Well, I got one that submitted his photo, then the background is fake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what he wants on his
And
life.
again, his
this is the first.
Facebook and out back, it's really, let's wait and submit.
One guy. One of these guys needs a hairdresser, he's really good.
There was another guy that came from Holland.
We look for an extension.
He said that it was nice.
Well, we see it up first. I saw it now.
So is there a way to add his name on here? Because all of his documents.
Ashton,
She did. She had done it.
refresh.
Refresh it and.
All right.
But the first was when, that's
Just
Saturday.
when it's selling,
Ain't my fault. Hey, I
does
was.
it doesn't.
So he's next month.
It's saying-
I helped him apply and it's on the agenda last month. He told him he needed that additional certificate and then I missed one. And then his master sends in the letter to me.
Please, please. That's why I was asking about bringing that file.
And I helped him apply and.
Sometimes you just.
Sometimes I'm just horrible. Today,
Don't you like to read
He's
this?
a master letter though.
I have a letter listed on.
See,
So now, sir, what is your recommendation?
we'll give it to the chairman.
Photo. Yeah, he said we received on the front.
should have been rubbing out.
Prior to this, and so this, it didn't make the agenda because it.
So Merle,
No.
you don't have any last minute?
He was the very first person to submit an application for May. He like submitted it on the date of the board meeting
We
from.
talked about two different.
We talking about two different people.
um,
What you all talking about?
You didn't get the recent from Merlo, did you, for master letters?
Okay.
For this Ashton Dooley guy, it's nothing from Merlo, they're usually pretty good.
What you say?
Yeah.
Say, go ahead, but.
They sent us another one.
That in the-
What's that other application?
There was another one.
What you said.
Who's the other? I don't know who the
The
other.
wrong application.
Second.
Maybe I
You
uploaded,
second.
what was the other number on there that's wrong?
I didn't think you know.
Turn the other way.
7,
And
Wait,
it
so,
could be
let
like.
me make sure I can upload it that, because I think we do have a letter.
Still be entertained.
Yeah.
So this is just a request for an extension, so I can add it to the business. We'll add it to the.
yeah, I didn't. Didn't push the button.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I uploaded it to that wrong application.
Okay, so it's
Hold
there.
on, I'll move it.
That's fine. Okay.
It's a Pearl that would
You'll still need to look at it and make sure
Yeah.
that his one's the one.
Now, can we just refresh within the screen?
Hold on, I'm gonna upload it for you on the correct application. The correct application number was 284.
Refreshing.
Kind of got the workflow. But we have to go
Let's
back.
try to.
Your refresh is gonna be, you see where the arrow is?
One here.
Lower, right there.
No.
Now where he,
Oh.
where he's pointing is refresh.
Third one.
That one.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to refresh now, it should be in his documents.
Try to go back to time.
So Myron here, actually.
Those who want.
You
Where did I write it?
You voted yes, I think so. I think
Working
you voted to-
What are you doing?
just take it.
That's.
5, yeah. Now you can do that.
Okay.
That's why we're working as a team.
We are a team now. Megan was ready to do, I don't know, but, she got it
I
in.
had to get her.
I think I'll be
I approved.
Yeah, it's your approved.
And that's what it means.
I got it all.
So he's added 2 premises.
Yeah.
Like,
I got a cheat sheet for next time. How that,
We, done with the.
as soon as he gets a submit,
I gotta hit this.
that was for the, that's good.
Should have gone.
That's it. So you scroll up, you'll see that there's nothing there.
What did you give me?
You should get too much. So now, one.
Basket.
Oh, wait, that's not
You
me.
gotta, just leave it like.
There.
Don't touch anything. Just
I
leave it alone.
put one of new business on the basket on Monday,
So,
and I don't see it on.
cause
Oh, yeah, it's
Alright,
Cody.
Pretty sure of that.
Corey, close down.
So we're going to go through the list here or?
don't know what it meant.
No.
What does it mean when you put a check in the other box?
All right, yeah, we wanna go through
Means
this.
another, a document submitted that doesn't
Oh,
meet,
you had no show.
and it's not probably required for regular apprentices, so I marked it as other.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, start it off. Master plumber applications. Harris, approve the retest. Let's read.
Reed, approved, his journeyman's license is expired, but he's got plenty of time.
Rob, approved. Table item Johnson, table, no new information. Tournament plumber, Grant, approved the retest. Bardo, approved the retest. Awesome, approved. Roth, approved the retest. Urban, approved the retest. Tyler, approved. House, approved. House, Spencer, approved. Sidner, approved, so we need a current photo. Zig Rain was approved to retest. Schuman,
Schuman was rejected, it was tabled 3 previous times.
Experience Apprentice, Haneke, Schuman, approved. Dickman,
David was approved. SE was approved. Wolf was tabled, no new information. And then when one that didn't make it was this Hiram Dishart, he was tabled because we need proof of education.
this,
Dishart.
yeah,
He didn't make the
That's
list.
He's the one that. He's
Chronic
asking
mistake.
for
oh, he's the, and make the agenda. He's tabled.
He's the one that had the HCC, he had the two, he had like 201 and 301.
Gotcha. All right, yes, Apprentice,
I got him. Balthazar approved, Aaron is tabled. Yes,
It's the letter.
that's the Murphy guy?
Yeah.
So Murphy,
Letters in there
so the Murphy contract, the letter was sent over while we're in the meeting.
during the meeting.
In the meeting, so he does have the list and the documents to let us.
Somebody updating the file then?
Yeah, she'll get it.
You'll get it?
You start his sheet.
No, this.
Okay, we'll find it.
she's in-
Would it be in the table?
Gavin, Eric is approved.
Okay, change it. And Birch is approved, newly approved, prior approved, Willerton table.
Anybody in Wakefield?
Wakefield, we have approved.
Mr. Jane Laird, McDonald, rejected, information. That's the sprinkler fitter, approved. Journeyman sprinkler fitter, now approve the license. Haney, approve the license. O, approve the license.
Napier was rejected, no new information, tabled 3 previous times.
Journeyman pipe fitter. That's lawn irrigation. Beckman, table, the proof of current, proof of experience and current DNR. Table item Shrimp, table, no new information. Williams, table, no new information. Muni, table, no new information.
West was rejected, tabled 3 previous times. No new information.
Zeman, table, no new information.
Need to, approve the actions of these, applicants. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second. Second, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved or
Rams reported since our last, only have one. Who passed. We got some recent dates.
You guys marked Daniel West rejected, no new information,
Yeah.
but I had marked that we received a new document. Was it not sufficient?
West,
West, yeah,
we
we
reviewed West.
didn't see it.
I don't know what it is, I just have it marked on that table.
Range, DNR, is that the guy?
No, maybe it was.
Wes?
No, we didn't submit anything.
Okay.
It was just Mark.
Okay, so then we have business, we just reviewed the Lamb's last disciplinary hearing, Mr. Flynn was present and he was fined for the 2 violations, $500 apiece. And then we have Master Plumber John Dawson submitted a letter for Corey Crum.
Cody.
And that letter reads,
So he shouldn't be rejected. Wes, he did receive, Carmen received his DNR card. No, but that keeps him from being rejected because he submitted documentation, so he can be taken again.
He did, he
I mean,
submitted
he's
his
submitted
DNR.
something.
His DNR. He's tabled. Sorry, Barry.
So he's privileged.
It's Daniel West.
And that was the current part.
So we got,
Yes, sir.
do we need to change this
Change him to
title?
table.
starts blocking.
So he still needs proof of experience.
Yeah.
Wonderful team we have.
Well, you emails flying every day.
All right, new business item for Corey Crum that is submitted. And Master Plumber John Dawson. Letter goes that I write on behalf of my apprentice plumber, Corey Crum, and his license AP 10054. Cody has been working for my company, JRD Plumbing LLC, full-time since October 1st, 2015. He originally started his apprenticeship under my master's license as a construction company called Elysium. We voted a few months after we started. And that is when I started JRD Plumbing LLC. When he came to work for me, I called Captain Jameson to ask what I need to do for his license. I told him to call Barry Ramsey and send a letter stating that Cody's working for my company and he needs to start schooling within 6 months of his start date. He was set to start ranking in the middle of April 2020. On March 15, 2020, Cody was at a stoplight when the driver under the influence of alcohol and drugs hit Cody head on while he was stopped. He suffered 5 broken ribs and had other injuries to his leg and shoulder, so he was out of work for 3 months, coming back in June. August, both Cody and his fiancee, Casey, who was also my daughter, got COVID, and Cody was out of work for another 2 weeks. In December, Cody got COVID again and missed another week of work. I should have called Barry Ramsey to keep him updated on what has been going on with Cody and how to proceed with his apprenticeship. I got overwhelmed with how busy my company had gotten and was busy doing everything I could to keep up with the demand of work we had. April 11th, 2021, my daughter and Cody's fiance passed away in her sleep just 3 days after her first COVID vaccine. They had two small children together, just 2 and 8 months old when she passed. I shut down my business for a week while Casey's passing to help deal with everything going on. I also gave Cody 3 weeks off at the time, and he was in and out of work trying to help with the kids. I'm writing to all of you, hopefully, just explain why Cody hasn't done his schooling yet. He is now a single dad to his beautiful kids that have been a huge adjustment for him. As to Cody's time with my company, he has worked in the field more than 90% of his 5.5 years. The other 10% of his time was doing labor work or working with other journeymen that was employed with me. Nick died, unfortunately, 3 weeks ago. Nick took his own life, leaving Cody and myself still with the company. Cody has worked very hard, last nearly 6 years with me, and become a very good plumber. I've taught him all the codes relevant to work we perform, everything that I have learned in my 30 years in the plumbing industry. He also now possesses a high quality of craftsmanship with the numerous projects we have done together. I know Cody doesn't have 500 hours of schooling, but he has learned the plumbing trade from his extensive work with me. I am confident in his abilities to be able to pass the journeyman test. Thank you for your time and consideration. If there's any other information you need, please reach out. Don Dawson. So I don't know what to ask.
I think he's asking, can you test without
Getting all the
having the class?
So I did,
What does he have? What does he have?
he doesn't have any schooling, but he's got 5.5 years in plumbing experience. So I did, when I spoke to Dawson, I did tell him he can ask for an extension of his apprenticeship and then at time get the schooling in. And that's what I suggested. He still want to bring the issue to the board and he provided this letter. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. That's what we've done in the past. Getting it in, I told him, he's talking about the kids. He mentioned that, you know, he's a single father. And I said, well, they do have programs that are available online, you know, affiliate PACC. And if he wants to go that route, that's the route he can.
That's our hands tied.
Yeah.
The school?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if he was like 20 hours short, I would probably.
He is enrolled and hasn't started any of the classes. He was enrolled. I don't know if he's enrolled.
Go online. How soon can they get it online?
Some have done it in a year and a half. We've seen them
18 months?
whip it out, you know, an average 2 years, 2.5 years.
Well, is he 6 years into his apprenticeship? Is he five years?
It's 2018 is when his apprenticeship.
That's already 7 years. Did he expire?
Yeah, it should.
Well, in 5 years, we put an expiration date.
Right.
Years.
That's what it means.
So you do this.
So at the end, it was his expiration day end date.
10/4/23.
So even then,
Only
we
before
don't
October.
have until October. It's full extension. Now, can the board consider special circumstances? I don't know how the ordinance reads itself. Legal, what do you say? You're supposed to memorize this.
Say, you know what?
Oh,
Those extenuating circumstances not include the word sin.
Temporarily.
so, I mean, do we make a ruling on this? Do we bring more information later? It bothered me to, he's eligible for an extension up until October of this year. He's eligible for that. To go beyond that, to have an end date of completing his apprenticeship, I guess that's to be considered. Complete his schooling. Can we extend it to if he gives us a drop date on when he will complete his training, can we extend it to that point is the question.
What happens when you should expire?
Expire.
Reapply for you.
So technically what we have is we have two violations. We have a master plumber that's using a license because he expired. And then we have, you know, who was a licensed apprentice who has been working expired license. You know, so, you know, I mean.
He's addressing the expired license.
As far as, I reached the term limit.
As far as, so,
Just for clarification, did that license expire in 2023?
yes.
So this is 2 years already.
Yeah, so we can only extend it right now, postponed to October of 2025.
We're going to extend the expiration of that license.
You want me to read this to you,
What
Mary?
page?
Yes.
Page number 47 of the ordinance, where it says no licensed plumber shall serve more than 7 years of a licensed apprenticeship period. It does have an exception. It says if a licensed apprentice plumber cannot meet the number of hours required to take the journeyman test within the 7 years of the apprenticeship period due to no fault of the licensed apprentice plumber, the board may extend the expiration date of that license.
There you have it. Do you interpret that as we can extend it?
Beyond the 7 years.
Exceptions.
To continue the case.
So the question is, do we can extend it, but give much time?
So the worst you've seen is 2 years.
That 2 years was, then we're gonna extend it.
I mean, no, I'm saying, you said it took 2 years to get the,
To get the out.
18 months.
Yeah, year and a half to 2 years.
So that's, can you extend that?
Oh, well,
You have to.
is that a discretion time?
That's an extenuating circumstance, so.
Can he apply for experience?
No, he doesn't have any of the hours.
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't have. Okay.
I was thinking the same.
And that's 2 years sufficient time. You see it as early as 18. Really?
Kick forward, yeah, hotel. But so is that enough? More circumstances,
You don't want to have to
and another,
cut him back.
what do you suggest?
I should say he has to report it in and make sure we're seeing a diligent effort.
If you gave him that extension and he got at least the 500 hours.
Yeah.
But PACC.
What's the longest people take?
So the dates of certificates have been annual, you know, they figured it into the BACC's program of field hours and completing their sections, they structured. And and it would take 4 years.
Yeah, they're 4 year, they're technically supposed to be a 4-year program.
But if you take it and
That's
just
what I'm saying.
cram and jam it, they've done that too. So you're saying 4 years?
Well, I'm not saying that. If he doesn't cram it, jam it, then
So technically, he's got all the hours, field hours, according to his work history with the company. And he's missing the classroom hours. So 4 years, we say he could probably finish less than that. 3-year extension.
3-year extension. It's up on it, yeah. It's expired years from today.
Be from today.
From today or from October?
Oh, October is the extension. Yeah. But we haven't extended it yet, so we can grant that extension from today.
Yeah, I think it should be from today because it's expired.
Right.
So I'd say we're gonna give them 3 years from today to get it done. Working in the progress. Keep it. Or make a
Yes.
reissue of it.
He would be able to keep that number, was it?
It's expired as Kevin.
Can you see if you can turn it on?
Okay, you can return it on with a sub.
Maybe we can change this expiration.
We need a motion to, approve a 3-year extension from this date.
The move.
Make that, we got a second?
second.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Nays, hearing none. Extension.
6.
Another extension.
Okay, yes. We have. This. So I don't have. Who's go?
No.
He submitted a, letter back in December asking for an extension, but didn't give a reason.
What's the reason?
Yeah, the letter's a little better.
Yeah. We need to hear from the previous meeting. We need to extend St. Louis County Apprentice Plumbing License for Nicholas Brewster for an additional year. The apprenticeship program will be in session until June of 2026. So we're asking for a year extension.
He's in.
In school, let me write Nicholas Brewster. Oh, he would be on the old business. We'll clear it up. So previously they asked for it, but they just said extended.
Originally, they asked for 2 years and they didn't give a reason. Now they're requesting 1 year for
1
this
year.
education.
And he's not expired.
Yeah. Like I said, issue in 2020. So it expired 25. February 2025. So when they requested it, it was months ago. It was back in
We
February.
requested it in December, which would have been a month before his expiration date.
So, and they want 1 year from state.
His expiration.
Expiration date on this.
So we may as well just give them 2 years.
They originally requested 2 years. They'll max amount.
We may as well give them 2 years, and if he finishes sooner, that's,
2 years. An expiration date.
Favor, we need a motion to, extend his by 2 years. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Make up somebody that's second.
I'll second.
It would be 1/9/27.
And then
From expiration.
Hiram Kissart Jr., who was a table on his experienced apprentice, and also is requesting an extension of his apprenticeship. He's in the midst of requesting, they don't have the hours.
He submitted it, got tabled, didn't have enough education, and so they submitted a request. I think he is expired.
Yes.
I think.
Hiram is currently scheduled to complete his schooling final exam by the end of June of 2025. So this month he's scheduled to finish up. So from his expiration date, which was
He's scheduled to finish by the way. He wasn't enrolled.
also it says. That's what it says.
That's what we see.
Right.
So by next month, he should have completed it.
That's what he's claiming.
That's what he claims.
But he expired,
When did he expire?
He expired
It started.
7/11/24.
We extended.
almost a year he's been
There were
expired.
3 others from that same day.
It was August 1st, his license was issued.
7/11/19.
Yeah, but it might have been issued that day,
But it was-
but it was
Approved 7/11.
So
August. 1 year ago.
We've approved at least 2 others from that
we
same
did,
day.
some it's extended from the expiration date, and just give them the 2 years as well. Motion for that? 2-year, like expiration day, who's the second?
Canada. Favor indicate by saying aye. Nays.
Okay.
There's,
I think that's.
oh, wait, they got Leonard.
Atlantic. Okay. How can you just give me that letter?
I have a copy of a letter.
I just gave you a copy of it.
This one?
No,
Let me see that one, because it's here.
This is like master letter, it's not requesting an extension.
right, this is, just allowing him to work.
Yeah, Yeah, so this isn't the right letter.
We buried the one requested
That
extension.
means I gotta find it.
Just
I knew that. Go by. Just checking. Big board of master plumbers. Okay. I am requesting that the plumbing apprentice license for Mike Lennox be extended to ensure all required classroom hours be met before testing as a journeyman. These and then here's a list of licensed plumbers. It's not specifying how much time.
Yeah, the school told him he needed to ask for an extension so we would get enough time.
Oh, so I wrote on here 2-year request. So,
I just think 2 years.
He's not expired, because he current.
okay, so another 2 year. Michael Lennox, motion from Mr. Body.
Second.
Favor?
All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Any opposed?
So Dave,
Carries 2 years.
2 year extension.
2 year extension from which day?
Expiration from this.
Registration.
Else?
Do you have anybody, tuning in today?
We did
Yeah,
not.
he's not expired.
We only had that
He's not expired yet, but he's gonna need it to.
from his
Well, so 2 from his expiration.
expiration.
So, well, 2/20.
So, just some news information. So, a few months ago, we mentioned that animal testing was going to be adjusting the price of the testing due to inflation. That is due to, and so since 2017, just the history, they've been involved with testing in this area. They have not raised the prices at all. And so here we are at this. So they're saying and suggesting that we're working with them now to see best way to introduce this cost increase. It has the potential to be significant. They're trying to work with the options. So the intended first hit, so these credentials coming out, they will, the last quarter, so October 1 is the first introduction of the price increase. And then it's gonna be a tier step up on the pricing to get it to where, so they're gonna take a hit, take it on the chin and take the last little bit now, but they can't ignore the recent change of things, say tariffs.
No tariff, right?
You get all of our code books from China.
How significant is it gonna be? How significant?
That's to be determined. I mean, you're looking at anywhere from a 50% to 100%.
Did we approve that, or is that, or how does that?
So the current contract that they signed expired several years ago. So it's been a month to month at best. I think we had to do an addendum to the contract. That would be right. So it would include the new pricing schedule. So the new pricing schedule we will present because it was in the contract. The board will have to look at it. And just to add to that, in the talks, the city is currently trying to switch out their testing agency and potentially Apple has the potential to be there in that group of RFPs. So one of the things that's being considered is trying to blend the exam. So because the effect, even with the increase, is going to affect mostly the journeyman plumbers because they have larger test items. So they're testing these compartmentalized. So by saying that, so if they apply for, and this is something we have to talk about later. If a journeyman say applies for the county or the city first, should this happen, that that hands-on project possibly, or maybe the written, one or the other will be considered across the board. It's not a merger test. It would be, say, the hands-on, you take it here, and within a certain amount of time, you take your city or you take your county, whatever the case, they might have that as an approved item for both city and county, and then just pay for the written test. So those are things that are being discussed, and we'll try and see it, but we got to get numbers out, or at least making our credentials that go out for the people that were approved this time to know that there will be a price increase. So, yeah, they got time to get a couple of tests. There's a couple of test days before then. Is that right? June and August. So there's only really a date of it. They're not signed up now. The test guys might.
That increases their incentive to pay.
So as it becomes more, and we address it, before it goes to people, we'll have to, get all that summed up and then, so you'll be our person.
Yep.
When will they make their presentation to us?
As soon as it's ready.
Well, I mean, you know, because we're talking about trying to get timelines and knowing how long it takes. No offense to attorneys in the St. Louis County, but it takes a while to get things through the system.
I got a feeling Paul's gonna be awesome.
Let me just say, we'll work on it as quickly as we can.
But I mean, but it's not, it's gonna be at least months, I would guess, right? To get it from when we say, yes, that sounds okay, to when you all say, yes, it can be signed.
I will reach out and I will try, and I think it's close to a presentation, so just some things working. Get it scheduled for next month's meeting.
Yeah, I can tell you that from my point of view, the more, I know you were saying, let's get all this information together and then we'll present it. But the more information I have that I can put together in total, the faster I can get things done. So if I know where you stand on certain issues now, and just update me on the rest of the issues, I think that will allow me to move faster.
I think we'll be able to present something solid
Good.
from next month.
Good.
And that way, if it's still in a gathering and what's the word I want to use? Negotiating or something like that.
I need to look at the idea of whether or not, because it expired, whether we need to put it up. So
That's what we want to avoid.
yeah, I know. That's it.
Year-long
I
conversation.
know. See,
We still operate on a month-to-month.
I think the first step is I'll just see how that speaks to the idea of what the month. So, like I said, the sooner I start having pieces, I can put the pieces together.
That'll work.
We got, what are we gonna do with our Hoffman and some stay?
So on the Hoffman Day, I'm putting together the disciplinary letter for that. It's similar to what we just did with, Lynn. So that's
There's nothing, we're not gonna have, like, we had that preliminary discussion with Lynn before we brought them in for this. We're not gonna have that.
we did. It was the same.
Okay, and we figure, okay.
But we'll probably, if it's ready, I'll be on the agenda, just like before we had to review the letter and say, we're gonna pursue disciplinary action in that respect.
So that's like, the letter hopefully maybe for next meeting.
Review?
You send a legal,
Yes, that'll be right.
and then it'll take, it'll be another week, so it's like another month.
We can have them on the docket.
So it'll be 2 months away at best.
That being said, anything else? Anybody? Next meeting is for July 10th, Thursday, 8 a.m. We'll begin August, September.
Thursdays for a change.
Yeah. Switch it back.
Yeah.
We reclaimed our room.
We tried, but our nominated.
Isn't that, that's the hardest part of it.
It
It's
is.
getting the room.
Yeah, I think we're burning.
All in favor indicating saying aye.
Oh, we adjourned at 10:30.
Job.
Good.
Well, it used to be. Then we can have a 15.
You know,
It's like here.
Yeah, so I know this comes up all the time, and I know this is the sort of sticking when with legal.